first time in U.S. history does a man with common sense and an ignorant woman actually agree on something. Let's put old girl from the Veer on here, because I ain't never heard her say nothing that makes sense. Here's the first time she said it, and she actually agrees with Stephen A. Roll the clip.
A few things. In regard to what Sonny's saying about it being an illegal war, every modern president since Reagan has done this in attacks from Syria, Libya, Bosnia, Panama. So it happens continually to give it context. The other thing is the travel.
What does?
That Congress has ceded this power a long time ago. And I have a lot of criticisms on Congress, and this is one of them. If you want to be part of the conversation, don't hand your power over to the presidents, which they have done. Two.
Time out. Well, there's a reason why. Because when the rubber hit the road and it hit the fan, the president needs to be able to make a decision on national security threats and the threats against this country, where he don't have to wait for Congress to get in power, and then they arguing all day. And they don't know what to pick because they're trying to play politics. That's why the president has unilateral authority to do that in the best interest of America as the commander-in-chief of the military. All right, continue.
Travel policy. I wanted to look this up because there are a lot of Americans stranded. It ends up since the 70s that the government has put countries on certain warning labels like beware, but also it is not the government's responsibility. They won't have the capacity to bring everyone back. They've changed that because that number was not, they had a number you were supposed to call that.
Yeah, the numbers.
That was different. Yeah. But then the last thing is, the other day I talked about how whereas administrations change and it's always political, I trust often the generals in the military. 74 retired U.S. generals and admirals came out endorsing this operation and saying that since its inception 47 years ago, they have been, this regime has endangered the lives of U.S. troops, diplomats, civilians across the Middle East and here at home. Death to America, death to Israel is a chant they have used over and over. I trust that these career military generals, you can't become a general if you haven't served your whole time. These career generals have seen stuff we have not seen. And the fact that they're coming out to say, you guys, this needed to happen, I do trust that.
What else you need to say? A star has been born. Elizabeth Hasselbeck will not be on The View long. I promise you that she can't be. The last 5 clips I see, she's been eating them up like Scott Jennings. This is the Scott Jennings of The View. Roll the clip.
I want to ask you why you keep calling this like an undocumented attack, that you don't agree with the war and illegal. So did you believe it was illegal in April of 2011 when the Office of Legal Counsel memo stated from President Obama that the president has constitutional authority to direct the use of military force in Libya because he could reasonably determine that such use of force was in the national interest prior congressional approval was not constitutionally required to use military force in these operations? Where were you then complaining?
I agreed. Well, I wasn't on the show then.
No, but personally, would you have stood against that?
I was at home complaining. But I wasn't complaining because the Office of Legal Counsel was involved. And the Office of Legal Counsel...
This came after.
But the Office of Legal Counsel is the office in the Department of Justice, because I worked at the Department of Justice, that reviews these things and makes legal determinations. This president doesn't go through the Office of Legal Counsel. This president does not go to Congress. Congress has the power to to approve wars. This Congress has the power of the purse. This president is acting more like a king than anything else.